Good morning, students. Welcome to the session of virtual classes of Oscar Public School. Children, today we will revise two chapters of Honeycomb book, textbook, that is chapter number 3 and 4. Children, you have to learn comprehension check as well as word meanings. So, now I will tell you the summary of chapter 3, Gopal and the Hilsa fish. Children, it is a season of Hilsa fish and a challenge to Gopal given by the king. It was the season for Hilsa fish and it was Hilsa that everyone was talking about it, about that fish. In the market, fishermen were selling only Hilsa fish. Even in the royal court, courtiers were talking about Hilsa. This made the king lose his temper. He believed that no one could stop the people from talking about Hilsa fish, not even Gopal, who was the wisest man in the court. Children, the king challenged Gopal to buy a huge Hilsa fish and bring it to the palace without anyone asking him about it. Children, king challenged Gopal that he has to bring a huge Hilsa fish in the palace and nobody should talk about Hilsa fish. Gopal accepted this challenge. Children, now Gopal was preparing about how he will face the challenge. Children, after few days, Gopal has grown his beard, and what he did, he shaved half side of his face. Half beard was shaved of his face and he smeared ash on himself. All over his face he smeared ash. Children, he wore dirty, torn clothes. He wore rags and looked very disgraceful. His wife was shocked and asked him not to leave home like this. But Gopal kept on telling her that he was going to buy a huge Hilsa fish. She thought Gopal had gone mad. Children, at the market, Gopal brought a huge Hilsa fish and started walking towards the palace. No one noticed the fish, but everyone was looking at Gopal. As he was wearing shabby clothes, even his face, half shaved beard and ash was smeared on his face. People call him mystic and mad. He has gone mad. Now how Gopal won the challenge? He went to meet king but was stopped by guards because he was looking shabby. He started dancing and singing loudly in front of the royal palace to attract the attention of the king. So he started dancing and singing loudly in front of the royal palace. The king ordered his guards to produce the man before him. He said, "Call that man before me. Who is singing and shouting over there?" Everyone in the court was shocked seeing Gopal dressed up like a man. Everybody was shocked. The king questioned Gopal about the reason for his weird outlook. Gopal reminded the king about the challenge and told him that From the market to the royal palace, no one had asked him or said about the Hilsa fish. Nobody uttered a single word about the Hilsa fish. The king burst into laughter. He was laughing as he knew that he had given him the challenge that nobody in the court should talk about Hilsa as it should be in his hand. So the king was laughing and accepted that Gopal had done the impossible once again. He had accepted his challenge and won the challenge, children. Yes? Now, children, we will do comprehension check now. I will discuss it. Children, now take out page number 42. We will do question answers. Working with the text, answer the following questions. Let us discuss it. Why did the king want no more talk about Hilsa fish? Children, the king was fed up of the talks of Hilsa fish. It was season of Hilsa fish and everyone was busy in talking of it. Moreover, he did not want his courtiers to waste the time on the talks of Hilsa fish. Okay. Second question says, what did the king ask Gopal to do to prove that he was clever? Children, the king asked Gopal to buy a Hilsa fish and bring it to the palace without anyone asking anything about the fish. Throughout the way, he proved that he was clever as he has dressed himself in shabby clothes, half shaven beard, as well as he smeared ash on his face. So nobody talked about Hilsa fish. Everybody was busy talking to him for his shabby appearance. Clear, everyone? Next question says, question number 3. What 3 things did Gopal do before he went to buy his Hilsa fish? What did he do, children? Gopal half shaved his beard, smeared himself with ash, and wore disgraceful rags before he went to buy his Hilsa fish. Clear, everyone? Question number 4. How did Gopal get inside the palace to see the king after he had brought the fish? How did Gopal get inside the palace to see king after he had bought the fish? What did he do, children? Answer 4 says, when Gopal asked the guards to let him meet the king, they refused. They said no. Therefore he began to dance and sing loudly. On hearing his loud song, the king sent his messenger to call him in the court. He began to dance and sing loudly. Now, question number 5. Explain why no one seemed to be interested in talking about Hilsa fish which Gopal had bought. Children, Gopal's funny appearance attracted the attention of the people much more than the Hilsa fish. At that time, no one was caring about the Hilsa fish. He was caring. Everyone was busy in talking about his mad appearance, his shabby appearance, his shabby clothes, half-shaved face, and the rags. Rags are, children, shabby clothing. Okay? Question number 6. Write true or false against each of the following sentences. The king lost his temper easily. True. Gopal was a madman. No, he was not a madman. He was preparing for his challenge. He made a plan for that. Gopal was a clever man? True. Gopal was too poor to afford decent clothes? False. The king got angry when he was shown to be wrong. It is false. He was angry when he was shown to be wrong. No, he was happy, he was laughing when Gopal proved his challenge. Clear, children, this chapter? Now we will learn question answers, and I will post the test paper. You will write the answers in your notebook. Clear, everyone? Next chapter, chapter number 4, the ashes that made trees bloom. That is chapter number 4, given on page 55, children. First of all, I will tell you the summary. Children, in this story, it is about an old couple and their beloved pet dog. The couple were poor but hardworking and affectionate to everyone around them, including their neighbors who were troublesome and cruel. The dog who get killed by the hands of the neighbors helped the old couple in unexpected and unimaginable ways. The dog comes in the dream of the old couple. Children, in the old days, there lived an old couple who had a pet dog named Muko. The name of the dog was Muko. Having no child, they cared for Muko as their own child. Muko also, in turn, loved them back like a being with a soul. One day, when the old man was feeding the white heron is a bird, children, the dog ran up him and tried to take him to a particular spot in the garden. At the first, the old man just thought the dog was playing with him, but after a while, he followed to the spot. The dog began scratching the ground as if a bone or a fish was buried in the ground. Children, the old man brought his hoe, who is a tool to dig the ground, stuck it on the spot and found gold. The old couple became rich. They enjoyed a lot and even shared their gold with the poor people. There also lived a couple who was wicked, who was clever and cruel. When they got to know that old couple got gold, they took that dog into their house and offered him food. The dog knew how cruel and insensitive the couple was, and he neither ate nor moved. Children, that old cruel couple dragged the dog out in their garden while carrying a hoe and spade with them, because they were greedy. They want also the gold, so they dragged the dog towards the garden. Children, as they reached to the pine tree, the dog began to paw and scratch the ground. Children, the greedy couple, thinking that a mighty treasure must be buried, they found a dead kitten over there. When they dig that ground, there was a dead kitten. Losing their tempers, they beat the dog to death and threw his carcass in a hole and buried him. When the old man got to know the news of their pet's death, he mourned for him and went at night under and paid him respect. That night he was sleeping. The spirit of the dog came into his dream and told the old man to cut down the pine and make a motor and mill for it. The old man did as he was told to do, as it came into his dream. He did the same thing. The old man did as he was told to do. The dog came into the dream. He worked hard and finally made the motor and mill. As the new year approached, children, he wished to use the motor and mill to make rice pastry. With the help of his wife, he pounded the rice, and the old woman took the mill and began to grind the bean. Children, what happened now? Gold coins came falling from it. Again, old couple became rich. Now what happened? The clever couple was seeing from the window. Again, the old man came there and they used to grind same thing in the motor. The rice and beans turned into worms. Why? Because they were greedy. Yes, the wicked man turned angry and destroyed the tools and used the broken pieces as firewood. Not only after that, the old man had another dream. Again, the old man had another dream. The dog spirit came and told his owner to take the ashes of the burnt motor and mill and sprinkle them on the trees, withered trees. What happened? Trees bloomed bitter. The old man woke up and went to the wicked couple's house. He humbly asked for the ashes. The couple gave them. He filled the basket with the ashes. Children, now what happened? Old man sprinkled the ashes on the tree and saw the tree was full of glowing cherry blossom. And there came the king. He noticed that the tree blossomed. Again, same thing did by the wicked couple as he was copying. The king, the dynamo was to pass through the high road there. He took the basket and set off to see him. As the train approached, there was a procession over there. What happened? Cherry tree was not now, didn't bloom. It withered like that. So the guard objected seeing this, because when the dynamo plank drew nearer, he sprinkled some of the ashes on the withered cherry tree, made it bloom. So the dynamo was happy to see this and stopped his van. He thanked him and ordered presents of silk robes, sponge cake, fans, and other rewards to give to that old couple. Even invited him to the castle. The old man went home happily to share this news with his wife. Now, same thing, the old couple listened, and now again they were greedy. They took some of the magic ashes and went out of the highway. He climbed to a cherry blossom tree, and when dynamo was directly under the tree, the man threw half of the ashes, and ashes do nothing. Instead, dynamo, the wind blew, the ashes flew into the dynamo and his wife's eyes and nose. They sneezed, which ruined the dignity and elegance of that procession. Children, the man was brought down from the tree and beaten to death. Meanwhile, the kind old couple lived a prosperous life. Even the fountain was named about that man. Clear, everyone? The story, the ashes that made trees bloom. Children, open page number 60, comprehension check. Why did the neighbor kill the dog? Children, the neighbor killed the dog in anger. They have expected the dog to help them to get the treasure, but the dog had taken them to a foul-smelling dead kitten place. Clear? The old farmer and his wife loved the dog as if it was their own baby. When the old couple became rich, they lived comfortably and were generous towards their poor neighbors. The greedy couple borrowed the mill and mortar to make a pile of gold. Open page number 61, working with text. The old farmer is a kind person. What evidence of his kindness do you find in the first two paragraphs? Children, in the first paragraph, the farmer treated the dog like his own child. He fed the dog small pieces of fish with their own chopstick and offered boiled rice to him. In the second paragraph, the old farmer provided food to the birds. Both instances shows that he was a kind person. What did the dog do to lead the farmer to the hidden gold? Children, the dog came running towards the farmer. He kept his paw against his leg and he took that old man, the poor farmer, to the spot where the treasure was buried. Question number 3. How did the spirit of the dog help the farmer first? Children, the spirit of the dog came into the farmer's dream and asked him to cut the pine tree and make mortar and hand mill out of it. With the mortar, the mill, it gave the farmer a heap of gold. How did it help him next? Children, dog spirit again came in the farmer's dream for the second time and told the farmer to collect the ash of the mortar and the mill and sprinkle it on the withered tree, and they blossomed. Question number 4 says, why did the dynamo reward the farmer but punish his neighbor for the same act? Children, the farmer had sprinkled ash over the withered cherry tree and it blossomed. Dynamo was pleased seeing the miracle and rewarded the farmer. His neighbor poured the ashes over the cherry tree, but nothing happened to that tree. Fine particles of ash enters to the eyes of the dynamo and even the nose of his wife. They began to sneeze and cough. They spoiled all the pomp and dignity of the procession, and so the neighbor were punished by the man of the landlord. Clear, children, this chapter? Now your homework is to learn both chapters' question answers. Test will be posted in the group during the query time. Thank you, children. Have a nice day.